Welcome to our couch.
In our living room.
You may be asking, who's this?
I'm
It's
Lauren.
not April or Lauren.
Oh, you were talking about this.
Yeah, well, this is Lauren.
Hi.
I'm April.
This is Agnes.
That's Agnes. And this is a random stranger who walked into our house. And now we're best friends. Introduce yourself. Anyway, moving on.
April,
Edit that out. Today, we'll see how much of that I left in the video. But today is a special day. And why is that, Lauren?
We're doing a Q&A video.
But not just any Q&A video.
What am I supposed to say?
I don't know.
A live Q&A video?
We have the Qer right here with the A's.
The experts.
Basically, I told them, I live in Colorado now. I need to fly to Oregon to talk to you guys about gardening.
We could have done this over the phone. We
Swayla
told her,
was here
but
anyways.
No.
She's part of our bubble right now.
Yes.
We're being COVID safe.
Right.
We're not going to see anyone for 2 weeks after this. Don't worry.
But we are going to answer Swayla's gardening questions right after
This hug.
In-
And the intro.
in the intro.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. That was a real hug, though. I love you.
Oh. Okay, I'm pulling up my question.
Okay, Swayla.
But that's a lot of questions.
Well, I
I
just
wanted to have extras.
Yeah.
Speed round. Let's do it as fast as we can.
Okay, so, well, let's see. There's a lot of different ways I can take this. Okay, so for background, I started gardening for the first time ever last year when I moved to Colorado in July.
Basically,
And-
our target audience is
The
you.
Yes.
Noobs.
And
Yeah.
so I still have a lot to learn. So my question is, that's pretty broad, is how do I prep my soil for this next season? My soil, like, my garden's just been sitting there all winter.
Okay,
I haven't done anything.
that's a
Well,
great
you
question.
should have mulched it.
Well, what's the deal with mulching?
Mulching.
I need to know. Because you guys have told me that on the phone, and I don't know what that means.
Okay, well,
Okay.
one thing, you don't need to
You
do
don't have
anything
to.
with it. All you really have to do to get ready for next year is pull out any dead plants, any new weeds that are growing,
Mm-hmm.
and if the soil's really hard, you might want to turn it over with a shovel or a spading fork or something. I mostly find with raised beds, that's not necessary, which I think that's what you have, raised beds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I just, last year, there was a weeds up to here, and I weeded it, and
And then
just,
you were
like,
good
dug
to
it
go.
up a
Yep.
bunch.
Yeah, so
You
it's
can
soft
pretty much
enough.
do
And
the
I
same thing.
fertilized it, and that's
Now,
all.
here's the deal with mulching. It helps add nutrients to the soil because you're putting a layer over the soil that's going to break down from the bottom, and it helps protect the soil from too much erosion and impact from rain, which is more of a problem in the Northwest because it rains all spring here.
And it insulates it from snow,
Yep.
which means you'll have
That would be
softer
helpful.
soil
Sooner.
earlier in the year.
Oh, that would be very helpful.
And sometimes it can help, depending on the kind of mulch, it can help warm up your soil sooner.
Yeah.
You
But
can
what
use
do I use for mulch?
almost anything.
Grass
Straw,
clippings,
leaves.
hay,
grass clippings,
farts.
not farts.
No, that's a guess.
Chicken
Doesn't work.
poop if you have chickens.
Any manure of some kind, dead leaves and branches.
When we had the garden at Mom and Dad's house, we didn't have much in the way of mulch, but I would usually try to throw some old leaves there, sometimes some grass clippings.
Old leaves are really good
And
for
still
soil.
have my Christmas tree. Could I do that? Could I just throw the tree on?
Well, people do use branches like pine branches to
Mhm.
insulate.
We haven't done
So
it,
you
but
could.
you could do it. But clip them off from the main.
Yeah.
Yes. I think we answered that question.
Okay,
Just
question.
pull the stuff out and
So
turn the
find
soil.
something to put on it.
And if you can't mulch, that's fine.
It's fine.
too.
You don't have to.
Newspapers, cardboard, your Amazon boxes.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can.
Now,
put
plants
cardboard
can't
on top.
really grow through them at all, so you'd have to,
Right.
move
them
them.
off,
But
when
just
it's
to
time
like
plant.
help the soil get prepped.
Mhm,
Wow. Okay.
Mhm. And
Um,
it keeps weeds from growing in between, like when you pull out the old
Yeah.
plants and so
Yeah.
that's handy.
Okay. So the other question I had is like, how do I decide what to plant inside as seed starts and what to plant in the ground and when? Because I don't know that, and I have limited space for starts.
Pause. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Oh, she's gonna go get the seed catalog.
April and I were just talking about this. We have the same issue.
Well, yeah, because I'm like, well, especially because you guys are starting kale, but kale grows really well from seed, and you can grow it later.
Yes.
So I was like, what?
The kale we just wanted to get in we wanted to give it a head start so we could eat it sooner. That's pretty much it. Okay,
I'm back.
April, answer this question.
So
I was just telling Suelo we have the same problem. We don't have enough room to start all the seeds.
a lot of seeds. Yeah. Well, for one thing, some seeds that you can start indoors, you can also direct sow. Not all seeds
Like kale
have to be started in, like
Right,
kale.
right. I know that, but
Yeah.
like,
But the ones that do, so
But how do you decide?
How do you decide? Well, if you don't have the space to start seeds at all, then just choose ones that don't have to be started, or buy them as seedlings, because you can buy starts. It will say if you're shopping on a seed catalog, it will say if you're just shopping. Here's a good one. If you're just shopping for the packets in the store, look at the packet, and it will give sowing directions. So this says for sowing indoors, and then it says how many weeks before the last frost. Or it'll say how many weeks before you want to plant it, because it might not be, you might not want to plant it right at the beginning of the season. And then it will give instructions for sowing outdoors. Some of them will say for sowing indoors, it will say not recommended. And then you don't want to sow it indoors.
Like
That's corn.
corn.
Okay.
My decision-making criteria.
Yeah.
How much room do I have inside?
Yes.
Not that much.
How successful have I been at growing the thing before? Which
Never
won't help
grown
with
it
everyone
before?
if you've never grown it. But if you know that it's struggled to take off, then starting it can give it a little head start. Or if you know your weather's really unpredictable in the spring, you have surprise frosts.
True.
You know, one thing you could do is build some kind of a cold frame to go over your raised beds for
Like
starting your
window
seeds.
or something.
Like if you can find a window, or like you can get
Or even milk jugs. You can cut out the bottom.
yes, you
and
can make
use
an
them as a
individual
cloche.
cover for your things.
And then it's giving it a little bit of a protected space to get going.
Yeah, for like weather.
This is a lot of information. I don't know about you guys, but
You'll be able to look at this video again.
yes, that's true.
So.
Okay, well, another question is because I really want to grow strawberries this year.
Yes, we are doing
And is that something that I should start ahead of time?
I would buy
So,
starts.
yeah, strawberries grow two ways. You can get seeds, or you can get what's called a bare rootstock, which they'll send you, and it's a little bundle of dried out looking roots. Sometimes they have a couple leaves. Mostly it's just some roots and starts. So that is a plant from last year that they dug up the roots in the ground for. It was a baby new, because strawberries shoot out runners and then have little baby plants. And that's going to grow a lot faster than starting them from seeds, and you're more likely to have berries, like good berries the next year. So just buy a pack of those. Farm store, Wilco has them here, or from an online source. And you know, there's a lot of varieties. There's ever-bearing strawberries that have strawberries all season. There's June-bearing that only have them in the spring. There's some that have spring, but then they'll do a few more in the fall. It's very cool. Lots of strawberries.
If I have really hot weather for months and it's pretty dry, or like a lot of sun, I should say, if I get a lot of sun, what would be the best?
Okay, this is where my knowledge, I'm not the same
That's
expert,
okay.
but
I know. All the questions I have that are
June-bearing?
Colorado specific are going to be hard.
Yeah. Because then you're going to hit the cool weather and get a good crop in, but I just don't know. The nice thing is most of them do say things like heat resistant or like fungus resistant.
That is actually one of my questions, is that last year I was not prepared for what does, like I knew some things really did well in the heat, like peppers and tomatoes, but when I planted cilantro starts, they just like went nuts and bolted, and I
immediately.
And I just didn't know.
Yeah.
And so does that mean I have to research every plant that I plant?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, no, because you can do what you did and just plant cilantro and see.
Yeah,
what happens.
I mean, here's the thing: is you're gonna get a sense of what's early season and what's late season. The early season things are things that don't do well in the heat, and late season things are things that do well in the heat. But then there's fall planting too, which is similar to the spring crops. After a while, you'll just get a sense of what you can grow when.
And if you're new, make a friend of a local gardener.
Yeah.
See if anyone in your
and that's the other thing is like you
is.
already have a sense that like peppers and tomatoes and stuff do better in the heat, and
so you know one
you'll
thing.
just start learning that. And it's easier when you start at the beginning of the season. You started really late last year.
Right.
So
I started
you were
late, and I was
stuck.
kind of like, I'll just go for it and see what happens.
So try cilantro a month earlier. And cilantro
Oh,
does just go to
more.
bolt really quickly. Like, I think cilantro you plant in, I could be totally wrong about this, but I think you...
I thought it was like parsley.
It's
Except
not
it
like
doesn't-
parsley.
okay.
I think you grow it in batches. Like, you'll plant some and then you'll plant some
okay.
more. And that's why you can get it in the big bunches at the store.
Because you have to harvest it like
Mhm.
quickly.
I
Yeah.
think. I could be wrong. If you know about growing cilantro, give us a comment.
Please do.
Tell us.
Also, if you garden in Denver and you want to connect, comment or something like that.
Yeah, comment on the video and
And
she'll
then,
respond to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, my other question is, and
Yes.
this is more existential than specific, is just like, how do you guys keep gardening from being stressful? Because I loved gardening. It was super fun, but like I really want to plan more and do better this time. And planning can be fun, but I also just don't want my gardening to become like not something that's
job.
relaxing. Or, yeah.
Well, you could take the advice of the Wisconsin vegetable gardeners. What did they say? If it takes more than 10 seconds
to decide whether to plant something or not,
then just plant it.
Just plant it.
Which is, I think, really fun. But that is kind of true. Like, go for a lot of stuff. Go for the planning while it's fun, and then if it doesn't feel good, if it's not fun, or if something fails, just give up. There's nothing like there's no one keeping score of like you grew the biggest tomatoes or your pepper plants all got eaten by aphids, so you're a failing gardener.
Yeah.
Every gardener has something get eaten by aphids every year.
Last year we tried to grow hot peppers and they just died. Like all the blossoms just fell off and they died and they didn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
And we were like, well, it's okay. We tried it and it didn't work out. And you'll always grow something and you'll always get something, and then you're gonna have failures. And just try to enjoy that.
I usually plan up until the point that I start to dig and plant. Hey, Agnes, and then I get bored and I replant my garden as I'm digging and planting. It's a great system. I love it. Not everyone does.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm just gonna, we'll see. And I also, April's gone, but
That's fine.
my other question was about building garden boxes.
Yeah.
Which I think
You gonna
April should probably be here
expand
for
your
because
garden?
I'm thinking about it.
So are you thinking the kind that we've built before that stand up on legs, or are you thinking
You're gonna
raised
build garden
beds?
boxes?
I thought about it. I know. You need to be here for this. So my roommate and I have decided we decided maybe because we have two pretty large raised beds, but I kind of wanted to put a box, like a couple boxes on one side of our yard, like next to the fence.
Oh yeah.
To do like berries or to do sunflowers, things like that. Because
That would
the
be
sunflowers are going to be really big. So basically I'm wondering how much does it cost to buy the wood? To like, what do you need to just make a simple box? And do I need to make it with a bottom or like,
You're gonna want some like 2x2s, something like that for like legs and the frame.
Well, if you do legs, if you're just
If
doing
you
a
do
raised bed, then
you don't need that.
like 4x1s or 6x1s or 6x2s. Am I just
For the
making
siding?
things up for the siding?
Oh yes.
And then some like right angle metal brace things make it really
and
easy.
you can get like corner posts.
and then you don't have to worry about like sawing everything at the perfect angle and screwing it together. You just have to screw the metal angle on
because
the
I want it to be
outside.
very easy. And then, do I need to like? Should I make the bottom wood and then just like fill it with soil, or should I just put it on top of the ground?
If you're just doing a raised bed on the ground, don't do a bottom. Just put the sides up and put soil on top.
That way the worms can come in and out and the
water
can
it's good.
drain.
If you're doing a box like we did, you can like make a frame out of 2x2s and then put, you know, pretty thin boards, and then you're gonna want to, you know, put them in the bottom. We just put boards across the bottom. In the frame.
Those are great for accessible gardening too. If you
because it's higher up.
If you want to make a garden for folks who have more mobility, or less mobility rather than.
That actually might save my back a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, it's helpful.
And if you want, you can just make really tall raised beds too.
Yeah, I mean, you can make like a waist height garden.
Yeah.
You totally can.
Anyways. Other questions?
Okay, let's see. What other questions do I have?
We don't know how much it costs, by the way. We found
wood
that
wood was at
that's
like
what I was
a
wondering
discount
too,
place.
because I'm trying to keep my garden to a reasonable
budget. I think you could make a few raised beds for like $50.
Okay.
Especially if you're buying, you know, if you're going to some kind of lumber place and you're getting
like cedar
like
fences
scrap
and
wood
things.
or like, you know, just don't get treated wood.
Well, it's personal choice.
Okay, you can, but some say
I like
don't.
chemicals in my garden. Okay. What are the best vegetables that I can freeze?
Oh, that's a great question.
Because here's my problem. Last year I just couldn't use all the vegetables that I did, and this year I'm going to try to like plant less of. I want to plant more things and less of them so that I can.
Yeah.
But really, I realize I need things that I can freeze. Kale, I like to freeze to put in smoothies. But like, what else? What other vegetables can I freeze?
Any greens you can freeze for that kind of purpose.
Smoothies.
And I would say like soup vegetables. Like we prepare. It's called mirepoix, which is
fancy.
Like the onions and celery and carrots that you would start for the base of a soup. So you can chop all those things up together in a container. And then you just dump it in a pot to start, you know.
I do really want to grow carrots this year.
Oh, carrots are pretty easy.
They're fun.
Too.
And
Definitely do it.
When do you grow carrots?
Like spring,
and then they're kind of a long season, but they don't go to seed that easy. Like they're pretty heat tolerant, and you can start pulling them when they're little and eat baby
let
carrots.
Some grow bigger.
And here's the classic freezing vegetables.
Yeah.
It's all the things that you ate steamed to a mush when you were a kid. So. Corn, peas, beans,
carrots.
Yeah. And then
green beans I could
tomatoes freeze really well.
Yeah. Really? Not for like chopping up and putting on a salad, but for like putting in a sauce.
I guess I just don't cook tomatoes that often. I usually just use canned tomatoes.
But instead use ones that you
froze. I even know people who freeze tomatoes. This is so funny. They just put the whole thing, because they don't want to use plastic, they just put the whole thing, skin and all, in the freezer. And then when they thaw it out, they pull off the skin, and they have a great unfreezer burnt tomato. I've never done it, but it seems great. Otherwise...
As I'm saying this, I'm realizing we do not actually have that much space in our freezer, so I'm going to have to
that's why you gotta get an extra.
Get a food dehydrator. Or actually, Colorado's so sunny and hot, you should just get some cheesecloth, slice up your tomatoes, put the cheesecloth over them to keep bugs off, and make sun-dried tomatoes. And then you could keep them in olive oil or just dry in a jar. So good on pizza.
That's a really good idea.
Wow. So many ideas.
I love this.
You could dry all kinds of vegetables that way. Including mirepoix. I've dried mirepoix.
Mirepoix.
Yeah, you know those.
And then
you know
do you
those
still use it to cook then?
Yeah,
those soups in a jar kind of thing that sometimes you get that will often have, and the like dried onions that you can get from the store, like that's what's in those soups.
I gave Philippa for her wedding shower, that was a kitchen wedding shower, a lentil soup in a jar that had hand-dried carrots and celery and onions in it.
That's crazy.
It was kind of fun.
This is my last question, I think. And then, honestly, I don't know if this video is going to be interesting or not.
April edits them magically to make them interesting. I actually think it's interesting. I think we've covered a lot of cool info that we've never talked about before.
Okay. I know that you guys did the seed catalog thing. I guess your thing or whatever. But I guess for some of us, I just want to know where the best and easiest way to get seeds, and how do you know if seeds are good or not? Because I just ordered my seeds last year on Amazon. I just want to know, can I just order all my seeds randomly on Amazon or not?
Did they grow?
Yeah.
then
Well,
it's fine.
Then it's fine.
One
I
of
will
them did
say,
it.
Well,
you can
Your face
any-
is like a. Oh no.
any grocery store that has a garden center will have a big seed selection. You can just buy them at the grocery store.
most people have seeds in the spring.
And that's fun
to like
True.
pick them
in the
out,
spring.
see the
because
photos.
you can see the stuff there and browse and decide and,
Mhm.
and compare different like kinds of carrots.
Because
and
it's
stuff.
the 21st century. I don't do catalogs.
Okay.
I just
Territorial
gave out
has
his
a
room.
We'll
You can
say
edit
you
that.
you
So does Johnny's.
You don't have to use the catalog. You can just go to the Territorial website and order online there. And like with the catalog, we go through and look at it and
It's
decide
just
what we
fun.
want.
Do
but
they
we
have
still
free
order
two-day
them
shipping?
online.
I'm just kidding.
They don't, but their shipping's pretty
Better not be
cheap.
an ad for Amazon. We don't support Amazon.
Um,
I don't support anything on the internet.
Great.
Wow.
Not even our YouTube
Our
channel.
videos?
I like to say flippant things
yeah.
without thinking about
You can.
it.
Seeds are incredibly resilient, so even if you like, I've grown seeds from an old packet I got from the dollar store like 6 years ago, and they grew.
Yeah.
So you're just
You might want to
more
plant
of them.
more if
Okay,
you feel like they're
okay.
not as reputable of seeds.
So territorial is
fine.
really reputable.
Yes.
Yes. Oh, the wind blew the door closed.
Kind of creepy.
Happens sometimes.
See, people like me don't know what's reputable.
I know.
Just because it's a catalog I just
Well,
know.
and that's why we want gardening to be accessible. If you buy your seeds on Amazon, that's okay. We don't like Amazon, but you can buy your seeds on Amazon. I've been buying all kinds of things on Amazon because we moved recently, and it's more convenient. And I wish I didn't, but I have been.
Yeah.
I'll admit.
There's
to
a
that.
reason Amazon is so successful.
I have an Amazon addiction.
Yeah, same.
Okay.
Anyway,
Anyway.
coming in the next couple weeks, I need to order something.
Oh my goodness. The other thing is,
Feel
you
bad.
don't need to get your seeds in 2 days.
I know.
I mean, maybe when you start your garden in
Maybe we
July.
should-
Like
Well,
you did.
yeah, when I was in
Yeah.
July, I had
Oh,
like
yeah.
minutes, and I
Yeah.
had to order seeds, and I planted them the next day.
Okay,
and,
smart.
Like,
You did
yeah,
that.
fair.
Good job.
But this time.
and
you
I
can-
still have
you can
those
go
seeds,
online.
so I'll use some of those seeds.
Mm-hmm.
And
We can give you some while you're here.
yeah, we can.
Can you please
We
give
can
me
split
some?
ours up, and you
Totally.
know we can look through the catalog together.
Get you
Look,
excited.
it's so fun. You can
And I can,
see
like,
what the different
Put
things look
stickers
like.
on the ones. that-
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like we just
I want
marked
these
them.
ones.
Aren't they cute?
Gold Spark grape tomatoes.
Yeah.
Those look tasty.
Okay, we
Those
need
are
your
cool.
stickers. I'll go get some.
Should get like a.
It's so see, it's fun.
Like want to take a dump.
Look
at that.
Oh my goodness.
I'm just saying, it looks like something that you'd have like at your grandma's
Yeah.
house, like a poop,
Sarah
a
Page
poop
out.
magazine, like a seed catalog. Anyway,
Oh,
In
boy.
an outhouse?
Yeah.
Like with the page
Yeah, like
out?
hanging,
Yeah.
and you just
it's like that
pull
was
it out.
like
It's your
the
toilet paper.
I mean, that's the
Daily
old
bread
classic.
devotional.
Like the old Farmer's Almanac. People
Yes.
used to use that.
Super, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Last year's.
Yep. Anyway,
Okay, everyone.
Oh, last
Yeah.
question. Do I have to buy bushes in order to grow blueberries? How long would it take me to be able to grow blueberries?
2 years, unfortunately.
2 years.
go
From
to
minimum.
go to
like
your
from
pick
seed?
farm.
No, from
Like a
seed
bush.
longer. From bushes. They don't really like transplanting, and it takes them a few years to get going after you. I'm really sorry.
So if you're renting,
yeah,
just no blueberries.
Yeah, just go to a pick farm.
Or I could get a big planter, but
yeah.
that would
Actually,
be hard to move.
There's a dwarf variety that does work in planters, I believe.
Yeah, I will say with berries, like check because there will be varieties that are faster maturing, but
I just really wanted to do berries this year. I want to do raspberries and strawberries.
Bushel and berry pink
sure.
icing, and bushel and berry perpetua. Try those out.
So that's how much it is
Grow
for
it in a
the
pot.
plant itself.
Yeah, berries are expensive.
Well, actually, it's not as bad as I thought it might be. But
Yeah.
how big would that be? I wonder.
Well, these are small. This is
$18.
This is 3 to 4. This will only get 3 to 4 feet tall, and same with this because they're designed for planters
That
as
means you
opposed to
can-
full size ones,
you
which
can
get
take it with
6
you
feet.
when you leave.
Oh, wow.
You can grow it in a pot
And
like
here's
that.
how you know: bearing age, second
Oh,
year.
Okay, that's cool, but
Yeah.
nah.
Strawberries.
Yeah,
You
I don't
gotta
have
do
time
strawberries.
Also, you can get a like strawberry pot and grow your strawberries in that, or you can get those like stacking planters with things and grow your strawberries in that. then you can take them with you, and they can grow upwards and not take up as much of your garden space. Or you can get like little ones that sit on the top of your fence or like hang off the edge.
I have some planters that are like on my railing on my back
Those are
deck.
great for strawberries, and it's really easy for harvest because the strawberries grow downwards and they like hang below the plant. It makes harvest really easy.
We'll send you home with this.
You guys, it's your catalog.
We have 2.
We ordered them already, and
I can read this on the plane on the way home.
They're kind of fun to read.
Okay,
They get you all. They get you excited about the planning, the part where you don't want to stress.
That's actually
reading
true.
catalogs.
I needed that. This is a great answer. Just
all right.
some light reading.
Well, we're here to help.
There's so many.
I can't
flowers
wait to
here.
grow sunflowers.
We got a
'cause
snack
they're gonna,
mix.
Everyone
they'll
in our
grow
neighborhood
so
has
well in
sunflowers, and
Colorado.
they grow so well there, and they're huge,
Yeah.
and I'm just so excited.
Amazing.
And I really want wildflowers too.
The other thing about a
Is it
catalog,
okay to plant flowers with your vegetables?
Yes.
you should.
Is it good?
It's good.
A lot of
Helps
them
with
help
pollination.
with pests, pollination, and
Do
attract good bugs.
I have a lot of good bees in my backyard in the
Yeah.
summer, which is good.
I will say one other thing about the catalog is a company like this, often they'll put together a package that's like a mix of, like, say, different sunflowers. Then if you want a variety, you don't have to buy different packets for each of them. You're spending a lot more money. Instead, you get them bundled together.
We're doing kale where there's like 20 kinds of kale.
Yeah. And like
20
dozens
kinds of
of
kale.
lettuce in one packet.
Yeah.
And you don't have to buy different ones. So
So
that's
like
a really
a
helpful
salad mix.
reason to.
And you just
Yeah.
sprinkle it on.
Exactly. That's it.
So-
Heck, they have a seed mat that has the seeds pre-planted in this biodegradable fabric already
You
in
can
rows.
just buy that, lay it on your garden.
That just feels like
and water
cheating
it.
to me.
Well, makes it
I want
easy.
to get my hands dirty.
Fair. We like to do
We
that
do
too.
that too. Okay, everyone. Like,
This has been.
comment,
Edit out all the boring
and
parts.
subscribe.
No, I'm keeping all your boring
And
parts.
subscribe
Aw,
and like it,
thanks.
and then leave a comment and subscribe to it.
And
And hit the bell if
and
you want
like.
to get notifications for
And
like the
Don't forget to leave a comment.
cool videos.
All right, that's enough, YouTube. Thanks for joining us today.
YouTube.
Bye, everyone.